The University of Idaho is strengthening schools and supporting families through research, training, and community partnerships. One example is the annual Vandal Early Literacy Symposium. It's a program helping educators improve literacy and build stronger communities. Here to help to tell us more is Brooke Bevlins. She's the Dean of the College of Education, Health, and Human Sciences with University of Idaho. It is so great to have you here.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here today.
All right, so I would like to learn about some of the barriers, the biggest barriers actually, to early reading success here in our state, and why do they matter for families and the communities in general?
Yeah, great question. So we know that in our state, about 16% of kiddos in kindergarten are reading below grade level, 18% in second and third grade, and 30+% in fourth grade. And we know overall about 40% of our kids in K-3 are reading below grade level, which is an improvement since 2020, which is great news because our state has invested heavily in early literacy. But we know that we have a need to continue to develop our earliest learners and help them develop the skills and expertise they need to interpret their world and understand their world and develop those early literacy skills. And we know that early literacy is really important to setting forward a kiddo in their future trajectory, not only as a learner and as a student, but also as a citizen of our communities and of our state. And so we know that in a world full of digital technology, that developing literacy practices is difficult, right? Pulling kids off devices, helping them understand why reading is important. And so it's imperative that we work to make sure that our earliest learners are on grade level and that they have the skills necessary to move forward. It's important for our community.
Yes,
as well,
it is.
And our state as a whole.
Yeah, literacy is not just a strong foundation for education, like you mentioned, but a strong foundation for life.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of implications that come from being able to read. Okay, so how is University of Idaho, though, how is your Early Literacy Symposium helping Idaho educators tackle these challenges that you're talking about?
Great question. So we believe at the University of Idaho that our goal is to elevate education and to really empower the educators across our state to be the best skilled in their areas. And so we have taken very seriously the call from the state to invest in early literacy and in training teachers to work with their students in really powerful ways. So our Summer Literacy Institute is a week-long institute for early literacy teachers where they get to come and learn from national experts in the field of literacy who have been doing this work and seen success. And so we bring these experts in, we bring the teachers to learn from them. They get to learn with other colleagues who are in their same boat. They're elementary teachers teaching early literacy. They also develop this community of practice where they're working with one another around these skills. And we're helping them to understand what's working in the brain in terms of how young people come to understand phonics and they develop language so that they can take those skills, that understanding, that sort of theoretical principle, and apply it immediately to the practice in their classrooms. And then we continue to work with them throughout the academic year with ongoing professional development as well, so that once they're taking this back into their classrooms and they're struggling, they can come back once a month to work with these national experts and their colleagues and say, how do we problem solve together? How do we really try to figure this out and move forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of power behind bringing teachers from all over the state here to come together to learn together in this cohort, right? Talk more about that.
Yeah, again, sometimes teachers in rural spaces in Idaho, maybe the only teacher, a second grade teacher or a third grade teacher, and they have the opportunity when they come through this cohort model to develop this community of practice. So people they can meet with once a month or get on the phone and say, hey, I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
How might you be dealing with this? Or what are things that you're doing in your classroom? Also, they have the opportunity to have this group of friends and colleagues where they can bounce ideas off of. And we know oftentimes that's the most effective way for teachers to continue developing their skills and practices is when they can do it together and not in isolation.
Yes, and learning from each other along the way, right? There's, like I said, power.
Yeah,
power
that
in
peer
that.
learning. Yeah.
Yes, and how does strong early literacy connect to the long-term outcomes that we see here in Idaho for students, schools, and for families?
Yeah, well, we know that as young people come to see themselves as capable learners and they see themselves as successful, we know that sets them up for future success. So what they do in those early grades, K-3, really sets them up to see themselves as being successful in their future academic pursuits, and then ultimately, of course, in their career outcomes. So we want to give them that strong foundation. We also know communities are strengthened when young people have those requisite skills necessary to carry on in their academic journeys, but also to contribute in their communities. And we believe that partnering in doing that work is really important. So not only are we doing it at the University of Idaho, we're partnering with the Idaho Department of Education. We're partnering with other entities across the state like the Community Library in Sun Valley to do this work, because we know that that's going to strengthen our communities.
Yes, absolutely. And tell me too a little bit more about how you see this program evolving. Like, what's the long-term outcomes that you hope to achieve?
Well, we hope every early literacy teacher gets an exposure to this, like the Vandal Early Literacy Symposium, at some point. So we have now had about 65, 70 teachers go through our program.
Wow.
We have other partners like the Community Library in Sun Valley who have trained many more teachers in this area. And we hope to expand not only the number of participants, but the geographic reach of this. And then to continue partnering across the state so that we're engaged in collective action around this, and we're working together to solve this not problem, but to solve this challenge in a way that encourages collective action.
Wow. Okay, so tell us though, who can participate and how do they get involved?
We are really targeting early literacy teachers, so K-3 literacy teachers, but also folks who are working with learners who may struggle in the area of reading, have dyslexia, or other challenges, literacy challenges. So we invite those teachers to join us. We put out call for applications in January, and you can apply through our website, idaho-today, and just search for the Vandal Early Literacy Symposium, and that's the way that you can get involved.
Wonderful. This is such an incredible program that you have going.
Thanks.
And a very necessary resource for our state. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you.